Hello everybody, welcome back. I'll just get the links shared out and then I'll be right with you and we'll go through what's going to happen today. So live for round 5 from Interlagos. There we go. Right, that's the links out. We should hopefully get a few viewers in now. So welcome along then to round 5 from the Next Gen Racing Powermax Megane Trophy. This is lobby 1, evening P Gib, and this is round 5. So 2 races for you tonight from Interlagos and the Megane. Same format as ever, unless P Gib gets it wrong again. But we have a 20-minute race and a 15-minute reverse race coming up for you. Obviously, all that's preceded by a 10-minute quali session. So the guys are out there just getting the final bits and bobs of practice in. Place you bet. Yeah, there was a game of P Gib bingo going on in, or there was some betting going on what had happened tonight. So we'll see, mate. We'll see. I believe in you. I have faith. Yeah. So the first 4 rounds that we've seen from the Meganes, we've seen some really good racing, to be fair. We've seen the battle between Ruddo and Hirakram. That has rumbled on so far, nearly at the halfway point of the season now, and there's not too much to pick between them. We've also had some really good performances coming through as well from Mike Rudjaino. P Gib has been a little bit off his game. I'm hoping that the duties of hosting haven't taken too much away from him. Hot and spicy curry goat. Well, that's hot and spicy French action, mate. It's these fiery Renaults. Hot and spicy because they keep kicking each other's heads in. It's great fun to watch though. Keyboard on, yeah, there we go. Oh, need to turn it on now. Yeah, sorry to disappoint you, mate, but there's not going to be any curries tonight. So I think we might be waiting for a couple more. I think there's a GT Sport update or a PSN update tonight. So I think a few drivers might be a little bit late because they're doing that, but we'll see. A few guys working. Yeah, this is the thing, mate, isn't it? I mean, JPH, I think he's cricketing, isn't he? So he might have a bit of a lighter lobby. Ah, yeah, so here we go. We're getting ready to get underway then. There's another one we're waiting for. Obviously not. Just closing down unnecessary stuff off my phone. Yeah, so hopefully we should have a good race ahead of us. We will see. Bam, 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 bam. Adam ID, Rally Mart, D10, all that would work. Yeah. I don't understand cricket. I don't think I'll ever understand a game that can go on for like 5 days and still end in a draw. It just makes no sense to me. None at all. Strange because he likes Interlagos as well. I thought Interlagos was probably one of his favourite tracks. I thought it made an exception for tonight. Anyway, we've got a lot of the regulars in. We do have Hirakram and Ruddo in, although Ruddo's not bothering qualifying just yet. So fingers crossed, we do still get some good action. There's Jano there just backing off to get ready for his lap. So we'll jump on board actually, do a little quick on-board lap. Jano seems like a good... he seems like... yeah, I've not read any, you can tell I've not read any group chat stuff. Anyway, so down into turns 1 and 2, which is the Senna S's. So ride the curbs as much as you want here really, as long as you don't stray off the curbs you won't pick up a penalty. Turn 3, flatten these Meganes, it's just really to give yourself the best opportunity down into the side of the Largo. Turn 4 is very easy to run wide on the exit, so getting your car tucked in for a nice light apex is pretty important. And down into Ferragura, we're tucked right up behind Martin here, but Ferragura in these Meganes normally is, as Jano just gets the back end a little bit out there, he's normally pretty quick. You barely scrub off any speed during Ferragura at all. A little bit of brake downshift just to give you a good setup for the infield. So coming out of Pinerino there into turn 11, nice and tight, ride the curb, just be careful not to go too wide on exit, get yourself nice and set up then. Turn 12, again flat, maybe a slight little lift in the race if you're behind anyone particular. Then down into Juncao, a good exit from Juncao is critical for a good lap. You can run a little bit wider there. Turn 14 isn't a turn, neither is turn 15. You are flat out all the way in these cars, and that is a lap of Interlagos. So Jano and Martin, even though Jano, we saw him back off his lap there. So 33.4 for Jano. We know probably a 32 is a good pole position pace for these guys. We've got most drivers in. I can't figure out why these guys aren't qualifying. Have I missed something? I'm assuming it's the one where the guys can't qualify. No idea. No idea. I'm going to assume that. But Hirocom's qualified, so I'm not sure why Hillclimb and Ruddo can't. Qualifying, but right, okay, sorry, I didn't read that. I have to mute the chat, dude, because I'm in about 20 group chats, so I end up having it muted, mate. Oh well, at least you can overtake it into Lagos. It's not the easiest, but at least you can. So early pole pace then, as we're halfway through qualifying session, is Hirocom. 33.1 for Hirocom on his first go at it. Jano, as we saw before, but we know he's got more in the bank in terms of pace, because he was tucked up behind Martin for quite a while, so he didn't go quicker that lap. 33.4 is still his best for P2. Bruce Lee Harding, 33.7, puts himself in P3. Matty Rudd, 33.9, that's P4 for him at the minute, just coming out of the San Andreas starting another lap. Martin JLO9, 34.3 for him. Occupying 5th. Then we've got P. Gibb, who's off-roading at the minute, just coming out of Juncao. 34.7 for P. Gibb. Then Subertis 44.2, but Subertis has just improved that to 35.2, so he's took 9 seconds off his time. So obviously made a mistake somewhere on his first lap. So he's tucked up nice and close to P. Gibb, and then Snav is on his hot lap now. Ruddo and Hillclimb Racer, as I am advised, do have a qualifying ban for tonight. Serves me right for muting the chat. I do normally have a read through it, to be fair, like on the day I'll load it up and have a look. But unfortunately I've not been doing that today because I've been quite busy. So some opportunities then with two of the faster guys lumped to the back. Well, I say the faster guys, I think this lobby's pace is pretty ridiculous anyway. But two of the guys that we typically expect to be fighting for podiums, they're lumped to the back of the grid. Fortunately for them, there's not as many cars around tonight. In terms of normally we have 14, 15 cars on track. Tonight, so far, we only have 10. That will give them less to fight through, but the problem is if Hiracram's doing what he normally does, he will just bugger off in the early stages, and it's going to be a fight through the field for these guys to pick up anything more. Can Hiracram get it into the 32s? Not going to be that time, but it's a 33-1. Great pace from Hiracram. Jano's got a little bit of a penalty. She's going to have to burn that and probably get a chance for one more. Bruce Lee Harding, he's also got a penalty probably for running it wide coming out of turn 4. Snav then has put a lap in, 35.3. Showing him as P8 on the grid, but yeah, it's P8 on the grid. So yeah, to 10 races tonight, and we've got Ruddo and Hill Climb. Going to be starting all the way from the back, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on those two, because to watch how they negate the way through the field might be quite interesting. So Gino has got rid of that penalty then. This lap isn't going to be an improvement for Gino. He's going to have to go again, but he'll get enough time. Let's have a look. Was anyone setting the timing board to light that lap? Hiracram was personal best set to 1. He's coming through to sector 2 right now. He has gone purple. So he's purple overall. That sector, he lost a little bit of time sector 2. He's not getting a slipstream in sector 3. So my prediction here, quite bold, is I don't think he's going to improve on his time. But because he's going to be the next one across the line, we'll keep an eye on him anyway and see. He always does surprise me, does Hiracram. I think he does get into the 32s, 32.9. Just as I said, he wouldn't beat his time. He goes and takes 2 temps off it. So always good for making me look like a fool, that man. So he's into the 32s then. Jano's on another lap now. There's a bit of a cluster of cars here. The fear is always that they'll slow each other up as one car goes off on an adventure there. But that looked like Martin JL09's car. It wasn't, it was Snav's car. Snav who got out of the way. Martin then does get out of the way of Bruce Lee Harding. I think it's Bruce Lee Harding's going for another lap. Here it comes out in another lap, so is Jano. P-Gib's given up, but he is third. P-Gib, 33.6. P-Gib, my man, where's that lap come from? Well done. Let's see what else these guys have got up their sleeves, and who's going to be next across the line. Who is it going up the start-finish straight now? It's Matty Rudd, 33.9 for him so far. P5 for Matty Rudd on the road. It's not going to be an improvement this time around. Bruce Lee Harding then 4th for him at the minute. He's going to stay 4th. Jano doesn't improve that time around, 34.7, and Hiracram yet again purple sectors. Going faster than ever. He does improve that sector 2 time as well, so personal best sector 1 and overall best sector 2 takes even more time off. 32.8 this time around for Hiracram, takes another 10th off his time, so he's 6.5 temps clear at the top. It's now going to be up to Jano, potentially Bruce Lee Harding. Guys, I don't know what you're doing, just like, I don't know, use protection. Matty Rudd, what's he doing? He's putting a lap in. So yeah, we're not seeing improved times from anyone out there at the minute, unfortunately. So, I had no idea. Yeah, mate, me neither, but I don't read the group chat. It's kind of my own fault. Dropping my controller. Yeah, I don't read the group chat, mate. I can't possibly keep my eye on it. It is impossible. I cannot do it. I've been spending every living, breathing moment in the gym, as you can probably appreciate. Does Matty Wood improve this time? He does. He takes 0.69 of a second off. It doesn't improve his overall time though, stays P5. Martin doesn't improve his time either. Pretty much matches exactly his fastest time so far of a 34.26. P-Gib, as we know, has done that, and Jano can't improve either, so that's a 35.0. So there is only Hill Climb Racers just out there getting some feelers for it. That's it. Has P-Gib set the right amount of minutes for the race? We're about to find out. So this should be a 20-minute race coming at you, ladies and gents. 10 drivers, 20 minutes. Here we go. Final. Hope find out in a minute, dude. It's a confirmation of your grid then for race 1 at Interlagos. Of course, here we come on pole. Jano P2, P-Gib P3. Bruce Lee Harding occupies P4 with Matty Wood and Martin 5th and 6th behind them. Snav and Suburtus 7th and 8th. And then the gruesome twosome of Hill Climb Racer and Woodo right at the back of the grid. We'll see what they can do. Meanwhile, everyone gets away well down into turn 1 for the first time. Looks like it is going to be Hirocom leading the way. Bruce Lee Harding got a very good start. Him and Matty Wood going side by side down through the CNRSs. Someone in the background getting it all sorts of wrong. That's Martin. And you got Snav trying to fight his way through as well. Then you got Woodo already past Suburtus. And Hill Climb Racer having a bit of a mission on just trying to get through the field. Meanwhile, Hirocom's got this early opportunity to try and get some moves made. Does everyone get it through to side? Oh, it's getting all sorts of scruffy here at the back with Martin sort of being the brunt of everyone's anger at the minute. As Hill Climb and Woodo was already up to P6 and we're not even at turn 5 yet. So Woodo already on the back of Matty Wood. Matty Wood, of course, trying to get on terms of P-Gib. Bruce Lee Harding with a great start to 4th. Jano, he's just trying to keep Hirocom in the window. Fortunately, he's not getting too much attention from the cars behind so far. As Matty Wood tries to put one up the inside of P-Gib, unsuccessful in the 10 Tools car at this minute in time. Woodo, though, has took another couple of attempts out of the car in P5. He'll be looking to get all the positions early on and try and just put a chase on Hirocom. But at the minute, Woodo's what is he? He's 3 and a bit seconds off of Hirocom's car at the minute. As we come across the start-finish line to start lap number 2. Hirocom just extending that advantage ahead of Jano. We do have Matty Wood and P-Gib yet again. Matty Wood trying to go down the inside of the CNRSs. P-Gib's got the racing line though, so can carry on ahead. This fight may well carry on to turn 4. This may open up the opportunities for Woodo to try and make a move past. Hill Climb Racer is also in 7th as well, so he's lurking away and trying to get moves made. Woodo up the inside of Matty Wood. Reinventing track limits though, Woodo, I'm afraid, and that's going to pull him wide. That might also give him a little bit of a penalty. It does, he picks up a second penalty. Now in this league they don't necessarily have to worry about these penalties. They can race freely with them. Woodo does get up to P5 then. P-Gib is next on the road, but all the while Woodo is losing time to Hirocom, who is now 3.7 seconds up the road. He is just pulling away step by step. Hirocom's now dropped the attention of Jano. Jano and Bruce Lee Harding have both sort of pulled away from the gap, from the chasing pack behind. P-Gib now is going to be a little bit of a thorn in the side for Woodo potentially. Let's see what Woodo can do about P-Gib up ahead. P-Gib does actually have decent pace here, so I'm hoping he can put up some sort of defence. But Woodo was actually having a look down there as Hill Climb Racers also got past Matty Wood. So Matty Wood that lap lost 2 positions. So we've got Martin in 8th with Suburtus in 9th. and Snav is 10th at the minute. Here we go, now 2 seconds ahead. Ruddo, they're not looking... I was going to say, not looking like he was going to be able to make a move on P-Gib at that particular moment in time. Looks like he has backed off of it. The good news is that I guess the pace up at the top, they're lapping in the 33s, which is good enough to sort of keep touch with Aerocom for the time being. So Ruddo, that lap of 33.5, despite him doing some overtakes and traffic management. P-Gib of 34.1. Here comes that time of 33.0, so fastest of everyone of course, but he is in clear air, he's not having to worry about overtaking anyone. And Jano's a 33.5, so on paper Ruddo's definitely got the P2 pace nailed. He just needs to get in that position. Jano and Bruce Lee Harding are going to make that fight very difficult for him when if he does get there, of course. So coming up the main start-finish straight once more. We are a quarter of the way through this first race. Don't forget, following this race we've got a 15-minute shorter race which is reverse grid. So that's the one that normally gets a little bit spicy as Ruddo goes for the move down the inside P-Gib down into turn 1. And he's now got clear air to chase after a podium position. Hillclimb Racer is next to attack P-Gib. And everything else pretty much unchanged. Hillclimb still leading the way, then 2 seconds ahead of Jano. Jano and Bruce Lee Harding stayed relatively close, but I've not really seen these guys scrapping all that much. So far they've not really been giving each other any headaches. They've not really been close enough to do so, to be fair. There's always been a couple of attempts at least between them, so they've never really been side by side, although Bruce Lee Harding through this middle sector, that car's just, the Dread car's just absolutely dancing around those corners at the minute. Jano looks to be struggling to get the car turned in. So whether there's any issues there on the number 13 3M car is yet to be seen, but it seems quick enough in a straight line. It just seemed like he was struggling with the stability of the car on turning. It just didn't seem to want to get that initial front end rotation, whereas Bruce Lee Harding was absolutely getting that car dialed in. Meanwhile they are now getting chased down by Ruddo. The decision for Jano and Bruce Lee Harding, I guess, is just how much do they want to fight each other, because they don't want to invite Ruddo into this fight either, if they can help it. If they carry on the pace they're doing right now, they should be okay. They don't fight down into turn 1, that's going to speed them both up. Did see P-Gib get overtaken by Hillclimb Racer on the track map. Hillclimb Racer got that done out of Junkao, and yeah, would have just driven by the steel seal car coming up the main start finish straight. So a nice and easy overtake there for Hillclimb Racer, back up to 5th now for him. Hillclimb led that lap, got into the 32s, so 32.7, now nearly 3 seconds ahead of Jano. Jano and Bruce Lee Harding still relatively close. Oh, Jano goes very deep there. Is that going to invite Bruce Lee Harding into a move? I'm not too sure if that was like just run on board with Jano for a moment. He just seems to struggle to get the car where he wants it to be. Unless it just looks a lot worse on cameras than it actually is, because his pace is fine. Like mid-low 33s, that's decent to be fair for around here. So we will see. We will see. The problem is now the top 2 are giving slipstream to Ruddo. Ruddo with his hazards on, whether he's warning everyone else of the incoming hazard that is an overtaking Geisen car, or whether that car does have an issue remains to be seen. With 11 minutes to go, you would argue Hillclimb's already pretty much sealed the win. But 2nd, 3rd, 4th, to a degree 5th as well, because P-Gib has really stuck with Hillclimb Racer. All those positions are up for grabs and are yet to be decided. Subertus and Stav having a good little battle here at the back as well. Both on the edge of grip there. Coming through the side of Interlagos, and these two have been enjoying battles throughout the season. Right, so Ruddo is now up the back of Bruce Lee Harding. Jano again, just a little bit of a mistake there coming into Junkow. That's just did unsettle the car coming into the braking zone, so that might have chomped a little bit of his confidence away. Bruce Lee Harding might be looking for a move here on the 3M car. Jano's going to defend the inside, so if Bruce Lee Harding wants this move, oh, he does a nice little cut back there, does Bruce Lee Harding. He's going to have to outbrake him though down into the centre S's. Gets that move made. Nicely done, Bruce Lee Harding. We might go back and have a quick look at that. But that gets the number 69 car up into P2. Jano then's going to have the job now defending away from Ruddo. Ruddo, who has just done the fastest lap of the race, 32.763. From the back of the grid, don't forget. So unfortunately, it looks like the win might have evaded him here, unless Heracon does make a mistake. But good points are still up for grabs. He's just going to pick his moment relatively wisely with these two, but he does slide up the inside of Jano already. And is he going to be able to pick a spot with the Dread car where he can get that move made? It might be a turn 1 manoeuvre, this one, unless he's looking for the inside here. No, he actually gets on the brakes nice and early there. Opts not to go for the move. Going for the move down here in Junkow's relatively silly anyway, because you're just going to be giving slipstream to the car behind. So Ruddo's just going to make sure his exit's nice and tidy. That it is indeed. Has to actually get out of the fall then, because Bruce Lee Harding ran it a little bit too deep. But that is going to be Ruddo up to P2, unless Bruce Lee Harding has anything to say about that down into turn 1. But Ruddo will just make sure that inside line's defended. And that should be move made for P2. Hillclimb Racer then is right on the back of Jano. I do want to go back and have a look at that Bruce Lee Harding move though. So this is the overtake he had on Jano a lap ago. Jano just failed to defend the corner. But braking about the same point, but I'd argue Bruce Lee Harding was able to carry a little bit more speed into the corner and therefore got the move made. But back down into P3 then as Ruddo has made his way through, and Hillclimb Racer is next on the attack list. Let's go and check in on Snav and Subertus as yet again they continue to fight, coming down to turn 4. These guys have been enjoying a nice little battle so far. Checking in with Heracon. He is 300ths of a second off the fastest lap so far. I think there is a point for fastest lap, I think. I want to say there is. I might be wrong. But I want to say there is a point for fastest lap. So Heracon may well be pushing now to try and get that extra point. 32.9 that time round. Ruddo though not having it all his own way with Bruce Lee Harding. Bruce Lee Harding is giving him what for. I did say this might happen. Ruddo is still carrying a little bit that penalty. It's proving difficult to try and get rid of that. I think his best strategy really is to try and I guess just pull a gap and then burn it off the old-fashioned way. Hillclimb Racer's got the same sort of problem then as Bruce Lee Harding and Ruddo go to war down into turn 4. Jano very late on the brakes by the looks of things, and it is a Megane train. I was going to say something else then, but I backed out of it because PG18 and all that sort of stuff. But Ruddo is leading a proper train of Meganes then through the infield here at Interlagos. If we just have a bit of a clean look back at Bruce Lee Harding's efforts to try and get past You can see in the background as well, Hill Climb Racer all over the back of Jano's car then, as Bruce Lee Harding does go for that move round to the outside. Unfortunately not able to make anything happen at this particular stage. Let's just cut back to this for a second. So 6 minutes remaining. Bruce Lee Harding needs to call a favour from Jano. He needs Jano to start attacking and helping him, I guess, a little bit. He's all over the back of him, is Bruce Lee Harding. Being sent round to the outside. We know he's good on the brakes into here, but round the outside is a different proposition altogether. Bruce Lee Harding sent to the inside through the centre S's. Ruddo again just having to burn a little bit of that penalty away. He's getting rid of it though, that's a good sign. The problem is though, because Bruce Lee Harding had to take an alternative line through the centre S's because there was a Megane in the way. That's going to invite Jano up, and Jano's going to try and get that move made for P3. So yeah, that's Bruce Lee Harding back down. Then we've got Ruddo's off the track then. Hill Climb Racer maybe. This is a great battle. This 4 cars are just absolutely kicking each other's heads in then. And I'm losing it. Ruddo's maintained P2 somehow. Bruce Lee Harding's back up to 3rd, Jano back up to 4th, and somehow through all that absolute chaos and destruction, these guys have not only managed to show us some really good racing, but haven't killed each other in the process. Ruddo then having to, I think, get rid of that penalty now. I feel he may have defended that position by going off the track, and as such probably did the sportsmanlike thing and just backed out of the position. So that's put Bruce Lee Harding then back into 2nd. Hill Climb Racer's been the winner of that one. He's in 3rd. Ruddo then down to 4th. She's got all that hard work to do again, and he has 4 and a bit minutes in which to do it. And Jano, undoubtedly the loser out of all that, down into 5th, but still very much in the fight. Oh, is he out then round the outside then? This could lose him out of position to P. Gibb. It is. It's going to lose him out of position to Matty Rudd as well. Unfortunately, Jano has been somewhat of a master of lurking and picking up results. Just ends up going a little bit too deep. So Ruddo then is going to have another bite of the cherry for this P2 position. Hill Climb Racer still there. He's not backing off. You can see this fight then for P2 technically now involves a whole horde of cars, depending on how far back you really want to go with all this. Because Matty Rudds, Jano, P. Gibb now, these guys have all been able to just reel in this pack, given the amount of fighting that's been going on. I reckon another 2 laps will be your lot. Here it comes though, 9 seconds ahead, and we've not even looked at his car anymore. We don't really need to, because the action going off behind him, absolutely electric then, as Ruddo now defending to Hill Climb Racer. He's still, anyone could really be on the podium at this point. Anyone, I'd say, of the top 7 could realistically get a podium shot if obviously, because these guys are slowing each other up that much. Realistically, it's between Bruce Lee Harding, Ruddo and Hill Climb Racer. But with P. Gibb, Matty Rudd and Jano not too far away in the background as well. Again, you would argue that could go any particular way. Ruddo's going to try and go around the outside now. His Hill Climb Racer is just going to try and throw one down the inside. He does. That's a great move by Hill Climb Racer. Just the opportunistic throw it down the inside. Is he going to get 2 at the same time here as we come down into turn 5? I don't think he is now. Ruddo might even try and go for that move back. He does. Hill Climb Racer respectfully gives him plenty of room and has to go back down into 4th position. And Ruddo's got rid of that penalty now, which we saw him do. That's kind of what cataclystically caused all this. Is Ruddo backing off to serve that penalty. Just closed everybody up in that pack. And it has provided us some absolutely fantastic racing. As Hirakram now expands his lead to 10 seconds. There's his car in P1. Right, we're going to look at some racing. Bruce Lee Harding still holding second. The penultimate lap is about to finish. We're about to start the final lap. And as we start the final lap, 0.3 of a second separate the potential podium finishers, with just one lap to sort all this out. Through the San Andreas as we go. P. Gibb inventing a new route. Bruce Lee Harding currently in second. Ruddo in third, but hustling his way through. Hill Climb Racer, we saw make a fantastic move down the inside a lap ago down here. Maybe stalking them, just waiting for something to happen at the top. Unfortunately, it doesn't this time round. Everyone's nice, tidy and composed. Bruce Lee Harding, for the time being, is doing enough, but he's getting absolutely swarmed. The pressure he must be under. As you can just see, that is his rear view mirror. It is 3 Meganes, and it's been this way the entire race. Ruddo, Hill Climb Racer and P. Gibb all queuing up to have a go at the Dread car. The Dread car's looked in fantastic shape all race, and has kept his composure so far. Having to go defensive now, that's only going to back a few more cars into this one. It's going to be a bit of a drag race, I think, aka Kvyat and Hamilton up the main straight in the F1 the other year. As we go round jump count for the final time, Bruce Lee Harding does have a 2/10 gap over Ruddo, who himself has a 2/10 gap over Hill Climb Racer. Meanwhile, Hirakram has won the race with a 12-second lead. It is purely a drag race now. It's Ruddo, it's Hill Climb Racer, it's Bruce Lee Harding. They're side by side, and there's 300 for a second in it between Bruce Lee Harding, who finishes second, Ruddo, who finishes third, Hill Climb Racer fourth, P. Gibb in fifth, Jano sixth, Matty Wood in seventh, Martin in eighth sideways. Snav and Subertus, who I feel have probably had a better battle than I was able to give it credit for, 9th and 10th respectively. That, I will be honest, probably one of the best battles I've seen in this series so far. And I've watched the Hirakram and Ruddo ones a couple of times. Yeah, I saw that on stream. I don't know what it must have been a lag spike, because he just disappeared off my screen as well. I was going to mention it, but then he reappeared, so I ain't sure. But Hirakram does pick up another victory. Remember, P. Gibb, it's 15 minutes, mate. 1-5. Save the replay. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, that was an absolute stonker. Had to take evasive action. Yeah. So I mean, the good thing, I guess, Jay, and P. Gibb, is the racing was about as close as I've seen, but it's one of the best ones I've seen because of the respect you all gave each other. Like there was a few times Hill Climb literally nearly drove himself off track to give people space. It was proper good battle. P. Gibb a lunch. He doesn't dare. No, I don't know what you're on about, Jay, What are you on about, mate? P. Gibb was all for hemorrhaging places at the start, though, wasn't he? But he got himself back there towards the second part of the race because of all the battling. It's a shame about you as well, Jay, at turn 1. Well, he's done it 15 minutes reverse grid. I think he's got it right, mate. P. Gibb, they look right. Are we going to have a minute's break just so I can go and get a drink? It was over after... Yeah, I know. He just goes, doesn't he, Hirakram? He just pisses off. But yeah, Hirakram didn't really get much coverage in this because there's just no... Start at 8:40. Oh, sweet. I'm going to go and get a drink. Yeah, he didn't really get much coverage. I was quite interested to see if Ruddo could get through, but I kind of figured once he got up to like the podium positions he'd have a much harder time. And I think P. Gibb, I think P. Gibb was all for hemorrhaging places at the start, that wasn't he? But he got himself back there towards the second part of the race. Unfortunately, I was right. Because it was a right battle. It was great. It was great to watch. Got to make the points where I can. Yeah, man. You got to make up for it. I did actually see the tables, so let's have a look. While we're during the break, I mean, this won't be necessarily accurate because it won't include these ones. But coming into that last race, so coming to Interlagos, there was a 10-point lead gap at the top. So Huracan did enter this round as championship leader on 152 points. Rudo had 142. Hill Climb Racer in third on 103. So a big gap then between second and third. Then Jano fourth on 87. Very close between Jano and Bruce Lee Harding coming into this. Just 1 point between it, with Bruce Lee Harding on 86 points. Matty Rudd 82 points. Rally Matt 76. P Gibbon 8th with 70. I think he'll have jumped up a little bit now as well. Martin 67. Martin about the only driver in that race who didn't have a full-on battle with someone. JPH, the Cricket Lord, 65 points for him. And then Adam ID, 52 points in 11th. Timmy, who's left the series now, I believe, on 46. Snav, 45. Sibertus, 34. And Piper, 21 points. Had a nosebleed. Yeah, he did it alright though. Right, I'm just gonna get a drink because I'm a thirsty boy. Alright, leave that there. Oh, what have I just kicked? Oh, my keyboard. What have I got to drink at home? I will just have some water. So slightly shorter race then coming up. So in a minute or two's time, now actually, Piggy, I am back at my PlayStation, so you are welcome to start as and when you feel comfortable, mate. Yeah. Race 2, this time for 15 minutes. And to set the grid, we have the reverse grid results from the last race. So in this one, Huracan's going to have to do all his work by overtaking cars and not just buggering off ahead. So yeah, a little bit shorter, a little bit less time for the drivers to get those overtakes done. They've got to pick the moments here at Interlagos as well. There are overtaking opportunities at Interlagos. They are somewhat plentiful, but it's not every single corner. So let's see everyone get away well. 10 cars down into turn 1 for the first time of asking. Everyone seems to get away well, actually. Sibertus going to lead us into turn 1 for the first time of asking. We've seen Jano give Martin a bit of a boost going into the corner. What else have we got going on? We've got Pigab inventing track limits, taking the Max Verstappen line. Bruce Lee Harding then at the back. Huracan's already made up 2 positions. That's the Huracan effect. It's like Moses parting the Red Sea. Oh, we've got a whole host of cars then coming down into turn 4. Hillclimb Racer just about edging out ahead in 5th with Jano in 6th. Hurricane up to 7th, then Ruddo in 8th. Their battle can resume. Snav and Suburtus having a good old battle at the front as well for ultimate supremacy, and it's Suburtus up the inside of the number 23 car, and he retains that position. Snav inside line, then Martin's trying to get that move made, unsuccessful on that occasion. Hillclimb Racer versus Mighty Wood. Hillclimbs are off the track, somewhat of a rallycross style line there for Hillclimb Racer. We've got another car that's off as well. That was Jano. Jano's off. I didn't really see what happened there. So yeah, we see the incident there between Mighty Wood and Hillclimb Racer. It looked like Jano. Oh yeah, Jano, he's just got a boot full of oversteer by the looks of things, to be brutally honest with you. Down into 10th then at the minute. Spurt's leading the way ahead of Snav, Martin, Matty Wood, Hillclimb Racer. Ruddo's still got his indicators on. P-Gib. Hurricane then in 8th. He's struggling now to get through this pack. Bruce Lee Hard in 9th with Jano in 10th. Hurricane is up. I think P-Gib has... yeah, that's you're not allowed on that bit, P. It's not the track, mate. There's Martin then going for a move down into 2nd. He looks to get that move made. Looks like Snav got it a little bit wild coming out of turn 4. That might allow Hillclimb Racer a little bit of a run coming up to turn 5, and indeed it does. Ruddo looks like he was defended to 2 cars then. It's Hurricane slides his way up the inside into 6th. Oh, and it's all kicking off now. There's cars everywhere. Ruddo's in 5th, Mighty Wood, Hurricane's down in 7th. I just saw a sideways black Geisen car and sort of half panicked. Oh, we've got a car off. That's Mighty Wood, I think, in the Tank Tools car. I might go back and have a look at that. In fact, no, it's Hurricane. What's happened to Hurricane? So we'll jump on board. For some reason, Mighty Wood's livery's disappeared. Nothing to it, to be fair. Hurricane just looked like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I blame Hurricane for that, to be brutally honest. Oh, he put it. Well, I saw he did, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, this is what I like about these. I mean, they're in the race. I'm just seeing it from a third person view, sort of thing. But oh, he's getting real scrappy at the front now. As Wood's barging his way through like an army cadet, just bursting down a door. Gets 2 positions in one go. Let's have a look at that from Wood's perspective. It's coming out of the centre S's then. Hillclimb Racer and Mind. I think a little bit of contact there at the apex. Ruddo, yeah, just able to barge his way through the middle. There was actually no contact at all. It was a really clean move by Ruddo up to 2nd, Martin 3rd, Hillclimb Racer 4th then. Jano and Snav battling away. Bruce Lee Hard in 7th, P-Gib in 8th, Hurricane in 9th, and we have lost Matty Rudd. Matty Rudd has retired his car. So Hurricane then. Right at the back of the field now from P1 in race 1 to P9 in race 2 so far, but he's got 10 minutes to change his fortunes. And I guess the good news for him, other than Ruddo now leading the way, the good news is they're all bunched up. So literally all 9 cars, all 8 cars at the front are within 3 seconds of each other still, and we've been racing for 5 minutes. So it just shows you that these reverse grid races are working for good racing. Of those 5 seconds, Ruddo occupies 1 second of that entire field, all to himself at the front. Suburtus, Hillclimb Racer, Martin, Jano, all occupying about another 10th of a second, and then a little bit more behind them as well. Suburtus just about defends into turn 1. Hillclimb Racer was trying to go around the outside then, but he's caught in a little bit of a sandwich. Jano with a lovely move there. I think I saw that a little bit late on. Jano, who was sort of stuck behind Martin, just bided his time again. I mean, I'll be honest, he Verstappened it a little bit and kind of went off the track to get it done, but he kind of had to at the same point. There was literally nowhere else on track that didn't contain a Renault Megane, so he kind of had to go out there, but still a good overtake, to be fair. Sabertis then, unfortunately, just been shuffled down a little bit. He's got Martin fighting away. We've got P-Gib and Snav battling away for that P6 position. Heracom's already up to 8th then. Bruce Lee Harding somewhere has had some bad fortune. He's down in 9th. Ruddo then 3 seconds ahead of everyone else because Jano, Hookland Racer and Sabertis are having a good old battle. Martin's getting involved in that as well. P-Gib and Snav are trying to get themselves involved in that fight. Ruddo's just running away with this one so far. Time is running out for any of these guys to do anything about it. I mean, races like this are nigh on impossible to predict because you just don't know how they're going to go. That 5-second gap that covered the top 8 has expanded a little bit, which is the result of Ruddo getting away at the front. Hillclimb Race then into 2nd. Jano giving them a little bit of a boost through this NOS. Sabertis holding 4th at the minute, and number 23 Fuchs car is having a good start to the race as it stands, but he's getting pressured now by Martin and P-Gib, 2 cars that are sat behind him looking to make that overtake happen. Martin just tries to go for that early apex move. Can't make that happen at this point in time in the Sale Light car, and Sabertis keeps that position, but Martin equally is trying to defend away to a very hungry looking P-Gib. P-Gib who's having to serve a little bit of a penalty up, slides one up the inside then does P-Gib. Martin for some reason has lost 2 positions in a corner. I'm not sure what's happened to Martin on that one. Did he get turn 5 a little bit wrong? Oh no, he gave Sabertis a little bit of a clout, and he had to then just get out of the throttle, to be fair. And that just allowed an invited move from everywhere else on track. Heracom already up to 5th as he slides his way. 4th now as he slides his way past Sabertis and number 37 Joyce Design car. He does have a 2.5-second gap up to Jano up ahead though. So this is where Heracom's task starts again. It's a question of whether we can do anything about Hillclimb Racer and Jano with the time remaining. We've got just 7 minutes remaining. As Hillclimb Racer goes a little bit deep into turn 1, Jano's just going to try and get him on the exit of the centre as he gets that move made. If these 2 fight, that's good news for Heracom, who's already pulling time out of them. We've got some battling still going on at the back. Martin, Bruce Lee Harding, Snav. Just jump on board with Snav to get a really good view of all this that's going off. Turn 4 proving a very difficult task for a lot of drivers. Martin's just unfortunately hemorrhaging places here in the mid stages of the race, but does get turn 5 nice and tidy. Snav again, I think the drivers in just trying to give each other as much space as possible, sometimes just overcorrecting little mistakes, and it's causing these ripple effects that we've been seeing. Ruddo just have a 5-second lead. He's doing a Heracom and just buggering off at the front. Jano and Hillclimb's battle has subsided a little, although I fear there's more to come on that because Heracom now is less than a second behind them. Heracom is on it at the minute in the number 37 car. He does need to maximise his points out of this one because if Ruddo gets a clean sweep, that's going to help him out the championship. At the minute after the first race, Heracom will have extended that, so needs to limit the damage then done in race 2. Sabertis trying to defend away to Bruce Lee Harding. Bruce Lee Harding had such a great race 1, has just been caught up in a lot of battling here in race 2. It's just been at times a little bit scruffy as he looks down the inside of Sabertis. Unfortunately, Sabertis was wise to it, just kept his car parked there. That might have let him go a little bit deep down in turn 4. Sorry, it has, yes indeed. And there's a car that just went off then for a minute. I think that was P-Gib. It was P-Gib. Where's he gone? P-Gib all the way at the back. What happened to you, my friend? You went from battling away Yeah, I think he just got the exit at 4 wrong and slowed right down to prevent himself from being a bit of a mobile obstruction. Probably a wise thing to do. So, things to watch out for in the closing couple of minutes. Probably about 3 laps remaining. So we've got the Heracron versus Jano versus Hillclimb Racer battle. That is due to start any moment now. What else have we got going on? We've got the Snav Pigib Martin fight. This is for the battle to be not last. They're going to go 3 wide down into turn 1, these guys. Behave, guys, please. Let's see who. Don't get a very good camera angle, unfortunately, going into there. Snav going a little bit wide. Martin gets his way through. Pigib, nice and tidy line though, and it looked like Snav and Martin a little bit of contact at the apex. Pigib might have an opportunity then coming down into. Oh no, he doesn't. He has a massive accident. Pigib. He has that's almost a Grosjean. As we've seen Martin have an accident as well. Big drama here at the back of the grid then. Let's have another look at what happens. So using the 360 camera, Pigib just, what happened to him? Did he get nudged out wide? He might have got nudged out. What happened to Martin? Martin nerfed himself, that's what Martin did. Because I think Martin knew that he'd hit Pigib. I think that's what happened, yeah. So Martin's actually not in the race anymore. We now only have 8 runners. Now, I'll be brutally honest, that did not look like an intentional move at all from Martin, so there's absolutely no need for him to leave the race. So yeah, unsure on that one. Anyway, let's have a look at the top of the 2 laps remain in this one. We've got Ruddo leading the way, we've got Jano in second. Heracron now up to third ahead of Hillclimb Racer. Did miss that move, but we can go back and have a look at it. Oh, did that get done? It did get done before Junkao, so no, we can't go back and have a look at it. Brucey Hard in 5th, Subertus in 6th, Snav in 7th with Pigib in 8th position. So yeah, the second race had been a little bit scruffy at times, but not really sure anything more than that. Right, so battle for second then is where the action is. It's Hillclimb Racer, it's Heracron and it's Jano. Fighting their way through. Heracron then trying to go around the outsides. Jano shuts that door as quickly as he possibly can. Heracron's just going to have to bide his time, I'm afraid, on this one, although time is running out because we have got 1 more lap left after this. Unfortunately, Ruddo, well, fortunately for Ruddo, but unfortunately for everyone else, Ruddo has taken his opportunity with both hands at the start of the race and has just buggered off and gone. 6 seconds is the gap now at the top. Jano does have a 1.5 second penalty. Now, if you cross the line with that, it rounds up to the nearest second, so that would round up to 2 seconds. He would lose a couple of positions at least. Heracron up to P2, Hillclimb Racer P3. Jano's just opting to burn that penalty now. Not that he's at risk from any action behind. In fact, we can exclusively keep an eye on this little fight now. There's nothing else really going on track. Yeah, so it's a wise move to burn it there, because at least then he can fight away this lap, and any position he does gain, he would actually keep it and not lose it automatically because of a penalty. And so Heracron then from the back of the grid all the way back up to P2. Yeah, there's not much he can do about Ruddo this race, but a fine damage limitation race, that little bit of collision between him and Matty Rudd. Heracron slowed to let Matty Rudd back past, and yeah, unfortunately for Heracron, that gave him a lot of work to do in this race, but I think knowing the type of driver he is, he'll relish that challenge. And as you can see, because of how close this second race has been, he was was able to close up to the pack relatively quickly because everyone was too busy fighting. Alright, so Ruddo's going to come across the line to take the win here in race 2 from Interlagos. Absolutely dominant display. And then Hiracom's going to grab P2. 6 seconds adrift of Ruddo then, with Hillclimb Racer in 3rd, Jano in 4th. Another good result for Bruce Lee Harding. Might be disappointed overall though. Subertus in 6th, a good result for Subertus, with Snav in 7th, and P. Gibb after pretty disastrous race for P. Gibb unfortunately, but no doubt he remains in high spirits, and P8 for him. We have only 8 classified finishers after 2 DNFs this time round. So that's it. That's round 5. I think we do have a break now for a week, and when we return, I'll no doubt have a lot more hot and fun action. You never do. No, I like that, and that's what I like, P-Geb, man. You have a bad week and you just keep going at it. I've got a lot of time for that. Got a lot of time for that attitude. I wish I could adapt that sometimes. I let it get to me too much. Penalties. I know you had like. Did you have like 2 seconds at one point? Just stop taking the P-Gib line, Jano. Yeah, you did the right thing, mate, burning it off. You definitely did the right thing, because then at least, I don't know, if something did happen in the last lap with hill climb and Hiracram, you could have taken advantage of it. So no, that's completely fine, dude. Save the replay. That was race 1. Yeah, you've did you? Yeah, you got some in race 1. Bloody hell, Jano, you love your penalties, man. I'm not sure what happened with Martin though. I know Martin and P-Gib had a coming together. I genuinely went on board with P-Gib, and there was nothing dirty about any move. It was an incident. Yeah, it was an incident. That's all it was. So I don't know whether Martin felt there was more leading up to it or not. I'm not sure. But again, that's something where we have a stewards panel in these sort of races. Obviously, racing is competitive, so people will get competitive about it. It's to be expected, and we won't want it any other way. But with that, there will be incidents and stuff like that as well. So don't be surprised when there are conflicts of interest. I think third car pinches. Yeah, I went on board, P-Gib. My perspective is you were on the outside. If I'm being honest, at that point you could have just backed off a little bit, but it happened that quickly. Like, there was nothing. I don't think there's anything anyone there could have done. I'll be honest, I don't think there was. The third car didn't expect you to be there. He gave the car he was fighting enough space and didn't think there was a third one, so from what I saw anyway, I wouldn't have said there's much in it. So that's going to give Hiracom a nice little points boost coming into the week break. So there'll be no race next week. There will be the week after. In terms of what's happening then, ladies and gents, there's loads about to happen now. The season break, as we say, is about to complete. So we're going to be starting the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship again on Friday. I will of course be covering Elite 1. That'll be on YouTube, so the videos will be out on YouTube. Then there'll be the Infinity GT Manufacturers Series. I'm waiting for the organisers to tell me what leagues they want me to cover in that. I've offered my services for one league, but we'll see, who knows. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's my first league using the new kit, and I'm not as quick on the fan attack as I was with the Thrustmaster, just because it takes a lot of time getting used to a load cell, and I'm still way off. But yeah, it'll be good though, man. It'll be good fun. I'm looking forward to it. Can't get onto my stream, probably for the best, would I? I'll no one in Elite 1 sounds confident. Well, the reason is because the standard in Elite 1 is very, very, very high. There's some quick drivers in there, like, so that's all. And plus everyone's sandbagging, mate. Everyone's sandbagging at the start of the season, you know what I mean? Yeah, anyway, I'm going to close the stream down here. I'm going to go and yeah, do some stuff. I'm not going to do any practice for tomorrow. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I don't really ever practice for the GTTCC. I've done a little bit and that's about it. So right, thanks for that, ladies and gents. I might be live with my point of view tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye.